just got finished doing a tour with Joan Osborne, so I've done 8 shows with her altogether, and it's exciting because she's probably one of the most famous people I've ever gotten to hang out with and open for. But it was really cool for me because I've been a fan of her music for a long time. And she had the giant hit, What If God Was One of Us, that everyone knows. I won't even sing part of it. But on that record were a bunch of other great songs that I think have kind of gotten lost in the 90s pop and rock annals. But I was 11 when that record came out, and I listened to it millions of times. And for some reason the song that I liked best was the song Right Hand Man, which is a really filthy song. If you actually listen to all the words, it's quite filthy. It's R-rated song. But I didn't really know that at the time. I was just yeah, I love this song. This is awesome. And so I was saying to the unschoolers that there's a funny thing about unschooling, which is that if you are an unschooling parent, you kind of forfeit the right to just tell your kid they can't do something and not give them a reason why. So my mom told me that she didn't want me to perform this really dirty Joan Osborne song live, and I was like, why, Mom? Why shouldn't I? And she's like, well, it's really kind of racy, and I'm not sure how people would react to it, and I just didn't buy any of her reasoning. So I got to do it, and I played the song when I was 13 at this outdoor summer festival, and I was wearing this very non-14-year-old kind of outfit, just because that was my thing. I had dreadlocks at the time. Anyway, so I told this story to Joan Osborne, and it was our little bonding moment that I had played this really filthy song of hers when I was 13 to everyone's shock. Well, I grew up in Virginia, and my mom had I think she read How Children Learn by John Holt either when she was pregnant with me or when I was a very small baby, and decided that she wanted to try and unschool me. And I think the way she decided it was well, let's try this crazy thing that she didn't know anybody else who did it, and she had just read some books about it, and she kind of wanted to see how it would go and how difficult it would be, and it was really the right thing for me. It really fit my personality, and so I ended up just not going to school until I was 12, and then I wanted to go, so I went to 7th grade for 1 year in public school just to see what it was like, and I liked it okay, but I decided I didn't want to go back because I didn't like getting up so early every morning. And then since then I've just done some sort of random classes here and there. I took some community college classes. I lived in Eugene for a few years, and there was this crazy school of complexity theory, which is this thing that's becoming more accepted now, but originally it was kind of a wingnut science, but really, really interesting. So I studied complexity theory for 3 years at this informal college thing. So that's my education experience, and other than that, it's just been reading and talking to people. Buy myself a couple souvenirs. Did you read everything we said? Do you remember when we met, dear? It was just before the sun went down. Do you remember how we stayed until the dawn? Yeah, I think I was 13 when I first started writing songs. And I played piano when I was a little kid. I took piano lessons, and then when I was 13 I started playing guitar and just learning a bunch of Joan Osborne songs, and also a bunch of Patty Griffin and Ani DeFranco and Sheryl Crow, all the strong women of the 90s collection. I learned a whole bunch of their songs, and then I just started trying to write my own songs. And I remember but my mom is a songwriter, and not professionally, but has written a lot of songs, and I remember playing my songs for her and getting her reaction, and she's a really great unschooling mom in that she was always supportive, but she was also always honest with me about, she gave me real feedback about my songs and kind of respected me as she would an adult songwriter. So I remember knowing that I wasn't very good at it yet for a while. And then I remember when I wrote Lovesick being like, this is actually a good song. Like after I wrote it, just thinking, yes, I've actually written a good song, and it's the first time that I had that feeling. And I was right. I think I still really like that song.
And so will you say that unschooling helped you have the freedom to practice and do those things and that was one of the things?
Yeah, mostly just the time, even more than the freedom. Like I would just sit and play for 6 or 7 hours a day for a couple years there, you know,
Mm-hmm.
and that's logging a lot of time.
Yeah. Was there ever a time you weren't writing music?
Not since then.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So it's really part of who you are,
Yeah.
really pretty deeply.
I guess so. It's, I always write. When I'm not writing a song, I'm usually working on poetry. Usually just poetry and songs is all I've written. But, yeah, but I didn't want to do it professionally for a long time just because I had this concept that it was, like, really difficult and that nobody ever makes it except these, like, lucky few, and you have to be, like, some kind of, like, pop star material, like, blonde babe to ever have a career in music. And I still kind of thought that when I started doing it when I was 20. But it occurred to me that if I didn't try to do it professionally then I probably never would, because then I would get a real job and start a family, and then I would be in my 40s and looking back and saying, oh, why didn't I ever try to be a songwriter? So I really just did it kind of on a whim, like, well, I'll try this and see that it's really hard and that I don't actually want to do it, and then I'll quit. And then it turned out not actually being that hard and really being a lot of fun. So I've been doing it for 5 years now.